Nowadays, there is not a bad smartphone. Every single smartphone that comes is slightly better in couple of areas than the other smartphone. There is just so much competition in the mid-range category. Like every company wants to prove that their smartphone is better than the others. So what these companies are trying to do is they are trying to squeeze in lots of features in the lowest price possible. So guys, because of this increasing competition, we as consumers are getting confused to buy a new smartphone because Realme has to offer such a great specifications for such a low value. Samsung is offering the same, and all over, all companies are trying to enter into the mid-range category. So as a consumer, it really becomes a difficult question that which company or which smartphone we should support. So guys, recently I got hands-on the Samsung Galaxy M31 smartphone, and in today's video I'm going to be giving you its honest review that should you buy this smartphone, in which areas is this smartphone better, and should you buy this smartphone for an extensive period of usage. Samsung Galaxy M31 smartphone is certainly one of the best smartphones under 15,000 rupees. Well guys, the retail price of this smartphone is 14,999 rupees, and for this price point you are getting a smartphone with 6 GB of RAM and with 64 GB of internal storage. There are three major highlights of this smartphone. The first highlight is regarding the display, the second highlight is in terms of the cameras, and the third highlight is in terms of the battery life. Well guys, with this smartphone you're not getting a premium finish, you're getting a polycarbonate or you're getting a plastic body with this smartphone, because other companies are offering you glass bodies and way more premium material. But still, with a plastic body, even this smartphone feels very premium because of the cameras and the display. Well guys, with this smartphone you are getting a quad camera setup at the back, from which the main camera is of 64 megapixels. The second camera is a 8 megapixel ultra wide angle lens, whereas the third camera is a 5 megapixel depth sensor, and the fourth camera is a 5 megapixel micro lens. So guys, these are certainly high numbers on paper, but in real life usage you will notice a minor difference. This 64 megapixel photo will not be drastically different than a 12 megapixel photo, but still you will notice the clarity and you will notice the amount of details in the photograph. Well guys, on paper these specifications are very good. Now if you will come to the front side of this smartphone, you are getting a 6.4-inch display. This is a Super AMOLED display that you are getting with this smartphone, and honestly speaking, this is one of the best displays that I have seen. Guys, honestly, first when I saw this smartphone in hand, this display was one of the most beautiful displays in any smartphone. Well guys, I personally own the Realme X smartphone, and in this smartphone I am having a very good Super AMOLED display. But with this smartphone, the glass kind of curves to the entire display, and overall you get a way more premium finish. And also this display is very good. It even supports the full HD graphics settings, so you can stream the highest quality Netflix or Amazon Prime Video. So guys, for the price tag of 15,000 rupees, you are certainly getting one of the most beautiful displays out there. Well guys, you are not getting a 90 Hz or a 120 Hz refresh rate, but again, for a 60 Hz refresh rate panel also, getting a AMOLED technology is way more important. And guys, the third major highlight of this smartphone is the battery capacity. This smartphone has a 6000 milliamp hours of battery life, which is one of the biggest battery lives in any smartphone. Expect a complete 2 days performance for a normal user, and even if you are a heavy user, you cannot kill the battery life in 1 day's usage. So in terms of battery life, this is a very good smartphone, and I think every single smartphone that comes recently should have minimum 4000 milliamp hours of battery life. There are still smartphones coming with 3500 or 3800 milliamp hours battery life, but the display sizes are increasing, so their battery capacity also should be increased. So guys, a 6000 milliamp hour battery life in this smartphone is a beast. So guys, these are the highlights of this smartphone, and also with this smartphone you are getting the Exynos 9611 chipset, which is a flagship level chipset couple of years ago, but still in 2020 even this chipset holds up really good. Recently, yesterday itself, Samsung launched the Samsung Galaxy M21, which is not a successor to the M31, but it is a little bit behind version. Well guys, the M21 starts at 13,000 rupees price tag, and it has a triple camera setup at the back, and overall it is the exact same smartphone. So guys, definitely I will suggest you to buy the M31 instead of the M21. So guys, this smartphone starts at 15,000 rupees price segment, for which you are getting 6 GB of RAM and 64 GB of internal storage, and there is a second storage configuration that is of 6 GB of RAM and 128 GB of internal storage, and you're also getting a dual SIM support and a micro SD card support. So overall, even if you will buy the 64 GB version, you can expand it to very much extent. So guys, if I have to sum up the entire review, I will say good battery life, good display, and overall a good camera setup. So guys, definitely the Samsung Galaxy M31 is a smartphone to go for around 15,000 rupees. But if you don't like the Samsung's user interface, then there are so many other options like the Realme X2 or the Poco X2. So guys, definitely think before buying this smartphone. And also from 1st of April in India, the GST policies are going to be changing. From 12% GST on smartphones, the GST is increasing to 18%. So all of the smartphones are going to be suffering from a price increase. So if you are planning to buy any smartphone, then make sure that you buy before 1st April. So guys, this was a very short little review. In today's video, I just wanted to tell you that certainly all of the smartphones are getting better, but the differences between every smartphone is very minimum. So currently there is not at all a bad smartphone, and every single smartphone is good or better than the other. So guys, I hope that you have liked today's video, and guys, we have to complete 10,000 subscribers as soon as possible, and it can only happen with your support. So guys, make sure that you subscribe to our channel, and I will meet you with another beautiful video. Until then, peace.